Time. Good morning, everybody. My name is Diamond Franson. I am the Digital Marketing Project Manager for ICND. This morning, we have a great webinar entitled The Power of Guest Loyalty, presented by Kara, our Director of Client Success here at ICND. So without further ado, I will toss this over to Kara. The floor is yours. Again, this webinar will be recorded for future use and viewing. We will send that over to everybody afterwards in the next day or two. If you have a question as she's going along, please feel free to type that into the Q&A. We'll have that addressed. Other than that, Kara, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Diamond. Appreciate it. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Today, we'll be talking about the power of guest loyalty. For those of you that don't know, my name is Kara Kaczmarczyk. I am the Director of Client Success here at ICND. And what that means is I lead our account management team as well as our support division. So essentially, once your website goes live, you get transitioned over to my team. And whether that's just from a support perspective, handling requests, or whether you have any specific phase 2 projects or initiatives that you'd like to do to your website, my team will help you manage those and work with you throughout that process. I also work with a lot of our larger accounts and help them manage some of their projects and things that they have going on from a website strategy perspective. Just a little bit about ICND. We have been around for a very, very long time. We're independently owned and operated. Our main focus is to provide custom conversion-driven vacation rental websites that integrate with your property management software. And then to complement that, we provide some really great digital marketing services, including search engine optimization, PPC, email marketing, social, and many other things. We also, provide industry leadership, valuable insights, and I like to say that we provide premier service, which I'm a little bit biased about from our support department. I think we do a great job there. Now, today's takeaways. The hope is here that you're going to come away with one or two nuggets that you can sort of immediately implement into your business, pretty much starting tomorrow. For a lot of you, some of this may be review, or you already have these things going on in your business, but it's a good exercise to evaluate those and just sort of review what you have. And see if there's any opportunities for improvement. But the main goal here is, to come away with some actionable insights, strategies, and things that you can implement into your business, pretty much immediately. Starting out with a poll question here. What percentage of your business is repeat guests? Pop that up there, Diamond. We'll give you a second to answer that. And then while we're doing that, we'll kind of dive right in here. Okay. So why does guest loyalty matter? What's the big deal here? Essentially, where's that? The poll question just popped up. Essentially, over the past few years, today's market has become extremely competitive, right? We all know that. There's not only more choice in destinations to travel to, there's more inventory within those destinations. And of course, our guests have become more price sensitive. So that just highlights the fact that we really need to focus on the guests that have been coming to us and getting them to come back to us again. We all know the impact of repeat guests on that, on our revenue and profitability. And of course, the old, cost comparison of acquiring a new guest versus retaining the existing ones that we have. A solid guest loyalty strategy leads to those coveted positive reviews that we're always seeking, and reducing our reliance on the OTAs. That guest may have come to us the first time through the OTA, but the second, third, fourth time, we want them to come back to us. Differentiating yourself from the competition is huge. That really matters not only on a guest level, but on an owner level. Speaking of owners, a solid guest loyalty strategy is going to help you retain your existing owners. Let's not give them a reason to shop. Let's, give them that peace of mind that they know that you're doing everything to promote their property. And also a great way to acquire new owners when they are out shopping for a new property management company. They're going to see this as a huge benefit and a reason to take a deeper look at you and your company. Just a little overview here. The key strategies that we're going to focus on real quick. We're going to dive into these a little bit more. Guest experience, brand loyalty, engaging your guests, that lifetime value, and of course, keep them coming back, right?
And just a quick
Um,
reminder, Kara, before you keep going, if people have questions as you go through your presentation, please add those into the Q&A and we'll get those questions over to Kara. All right, Kara.
yeah, perfect. Did you, while we're talking, did that poll come back? Do you have the any
Yep,
on that?
yep, yep. I'll get that for you.
Okay, sweet. So elevating the guest experience. This is your time to shine. You've gotten the booking. They've made the reservation with you. How are you going to handle that guest from that moment all the way through checkout and beyond? The guest journey here. So, do you offer help with activities? Beach rentals, tea times, lift tickets, whatever might be in your destination. If you are somewhere that's a fly to destination, do you provide any airport transportation? What services are available to guests if they stay with you? Do you pre-stock the unit before they get there? Spa services, anything in an upscale destination with private chefs or childcare, anything that you can really think of that provides that next level service. And it can be as simple as, seamless check-in, is, anything like that. That's going to give that guest that extra love during their experience with you. This all comes with, proactive communication before, during, and after their stay, and making sure that communication is well branded, which we'll get into in a little bit. I was a perfect example of this to sort of create those unique and memorable touches. I was visiting a client a couple of years ago, and they're in the resort destination. There's a lot of things to do in there, and on the resort, very family oriented. And they told a story that their guest services team, had an experience with one of their guests where family checked out, little kid left the stuffed animal, the favorite coveted stuffed animal. Like, oh my God, panic attack. What am I going to do here? So obviously they called the guest services, retrieved the teddy bear, but instead of just shipping it right back, they took little pictures. They took pictures of the little teddy bear around the resort. The little guy at the pool, he was, maybe he was going golfing. He was at the beach. He was having a great time, and they sent those pictures to the guests to assure them that little teddy bear was okay. He was safe, and he was having a good time. And then of course they shipped the item back to them. But I'm pretty sure that guest, they're not going to forget that anytime soon. They're probably going to tell a few people about it. Maybe they're going to write a positive review. They definitely have created that emotional connection with your destination, with your company. So that's just sort of one example of how to create that special touch that's going to have a lasting impression with your guests moving forward. Second one, how do we strengthen our brand loyalty, or how do we even build that brand loyalty if you're a new company? I would say the biggest takeaway here is consistency, and that's consistency across all of your platforms. So on your website, is it well branded? Your signage, both at your office and also throughout your properties in your destination, your branding on social media, your branding on your emails, and then also consistency not only with those marketing efforts, but in the services and the properties that you supply. Are there certain standards? So if I stay at one property one time and I come back, am I going to have the same experience at a different property that I stay at? So again, setting those standards. Another question that you ask yourself as you're reviewing all of these things is, When is the last time you took a look at your About Us page? Do you even have a Meet the Team page? Your About Us page, is it just a couple paragraphs with no engaging content on there? Or do you have a team photo? Talk about how you're local. Again, what's going to differentiate you from your competition? Are you involved in your community? Talk about how you give back to your community, what your team does to do that. All of these things are going to, sort of create that emotional connection. They're going to build your brand as, strong and recognizable throughout all of that consistency that you're providing. And it's also going to be great, everything you do is also not only for your guests, but for your, potential and existing homeowners as well, to kind of um, strengthen that brand and strengthen that connection to you. Again, if you have an About Us page, I'm sure you do, but have you looked at it lately and seen if there's opportunities there to improve it or to create a more, compelling story there? Obviously leveraging your social media channels for reviews and guest testimonials and also owner reviews as well. Doing all of this consistently is going to create that brand loyalty and strengthen that brand loyalty, so that when someone thinks about vacation rentals in your destination, your branding is going to come first to mind, and that all comes with this consistent messaging that you've got there. Whoops. Okay. um the next one I want to talk about is increasing the guest engagement. So we've built our brand loyalty. We've become recognizable. We're working on creating those unique experiences throughout. What are we doing to increase that guest engagement, not only while they're at your destination, but as they're planning and then throughout the year. So really breaking this down into three sections: social, email, and your website. So, on your social channels, are you just blasting that 20% off special, or this featured property, things that are just truly marketing related? Or are you using a portion of that time to create that dreaming content? So the photos of the sunset, the photos of the mountain view, or, what's going on at the beach today, to kind of create that, like, I wish I was there experience. Because, clients come to your destination, once a year. They might think about it all year long, especially in January, when they want to take that beach vacation. And that's going to create that engagement online. They're going to comment on your posts, and et cetera, et cetera. And it's just going to create that guest engagement that you're really seeking. So having a good balance there between that emotional dreaming content, and also promoting your destination and the properties that you have. With your email marketing, number one, do you have a strategy? Or do you just kind of think about sending an email out once, and then you don't think about it again for 6 months? So having a consistent, well branded marketing strategy that really goes throughout the entire guest life cycle. So from the planning stage to your booking confirmation, your pre-arrival and your post-departure emails. Does your pre-arrival, talk about things to do in the area, or booking activities and events and things that are in your destination during a time that your guest is coming, so that they're prepared when they get there, and they know everything that they need to know before they arrive? Is that coming, in those email communications? And the last component to this is your website. Content on your site does multiple different things. Do you have a blog that is updated, consistently with engaging, useful content that people are going to be searching for? Do you have a travel guide that provides information on things to do? What's activities are in your area? Guests want to plan and book their lodging, but they also want to know what they're going to do when they're there. And if they can do and plan all of that on your website, it's going to be incredible for keeping them on the site longer, for you becoming that authority on your destination. And by the way, all of that is great for SEO. So there's multiple different reasons why you'd want to have all of that content and all of that information, on your website. From, if you have a signature event that comes to that's in your destination every year, are we consistently updating the page that we've created for that with either featured properties that are close to the event, new and updated content around that event every year so that you can continue to build that page and strengthen your SEO value on it, and also increase that guest engagement there.
All right, Kara, the poll results are in, so I wanted to share them with you and everybody attending. And we also had a tip come in through the Q&A that I thought would be helpful to share at this moment as well. So for the poll results, under 25% repeat guess was 36% of our attendees today. 25 to 50% was 18%. 50 to 75% of returning guests was 36%, and over 75 was 9%.
Okay,
So
so most about half-ish. That's
most is
very
half or even a little bit more than half. Tip that came through the Q&A while you were talking there about making things valuable and personalized was this VRM purchased a Cricut and an etched and they personal wine. So they etch and they add their people's names to personal to the wine glasses if they're celebrating a birthday or anniversary. And then they said the wine glass itself costs under $2. The etching costs very little that they do, and they include a bottle of wine with a handwritten note. And that very low cost item makes a really big impact. So I wanted to share that as well.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Anything in unit that you can do that's going to, number one, a lot of times people book these and it's a big group coming. So, you're going to you're going to this vacation rental, you have no idea who booked it or who they, much less who they booked with. So having that branding in there, having those personal touches, having those things in there, it's going to really make your guests think and be like, oh wow, this is, kind of a, cool company. I can't believe they did that. That's so great. These are all these, nice things to have. And, it's definitely going to really, really strengthen your brand loyalty. And of course, have them come back, stay with you again. So cool. Thanks, Diamond. Appreciate that. Jumping back in, the next item here is, maximizing your guest lifetime value. And really, this comes down to a few components as well. The biggest of which is, consistent messaging in all of your marketing to encourage guests to book direct, right? Differentiating yourselves. Why should they book with you? I know it was a big thing a long time ago to have a why book with us page. Have you looked at that in a while and, maybe optimize that or refreshed it a little bit to really, explain to guests that might not know, the difference of booking with a professional vacation rental manager versus an OTA or an Airbnb or things like that. What are they going to get? Is it a better price? Are they going to avoid those OTA fees? Better inventory, advanced access to certain properties that become available, or the local aspect. That's a huge thing to play on. They get local expertise if they book direct with you, more personalized service. And also, having that message across all of your platforms, not only on your website, but having a little maybe snippet at the bottom of your regular email communications, just reminding guests of the value of booking direct. Another good opportunity here is upsell and cross sell. Are you in is your company or in multiple destinations? So you have one, certain number of properties here, and then you're in a, completely different destination, be it mountains or beach and vice versa. And maybe marketing to guests that have stayed in one location and having them come back, encouraging them to book direct some of your other locations the next time. Another, way that you can do that is, cross-selling. Maybe you've came down, for family vacation, and maybe you want to come back, encourage those guests to come back for a spa weekend, girls weekend, guys weekend, those types of things, different types of vacations. And then of course, tracking and analyzing guest behavior for targeted marketing. And we'll get into that a little bit more with our loyalty program and different ways that you can do that. But of course, you can, use your data, slice and dice it anyway that's going to give you the information to, help encourage guests to come back and book with you again. Whether it's booking reminders, or they stayed in one type of accommodation this time, and how about they try either a smaller, larger place, things like that, just to get in front of them and to realize that they may have stayed in one type of accommodation. Now they can stay, again, at different times of year or a different type of destination. So going along with that too is, encouraging, repeat guests. Do you have specific promotions around that? A lot of our clients have, a promo code for repeat guests that get 5% off, and only repeat guests know that. It's not really advertised anywhere else. It's a a promotion just for them. Of course, rewarding guests for referrals. You get $50 off a stay. They get discount off a stay. Things like that. And really, the meat and potatoes of our presentation here. The main goal here, talking about implementing a loyalty program with exclusive perks for your guests. So, with that, I wanted to take some time to talk about, give it an overview of our guest loyalty module. Now, this is going to be a high level, overview from a different perspective, and then afterwards we can set up times to go into deep dive a little more specifically. But I wanted to focus on a couple things. The guest side of it and the features that they can expect. The administrative features, property management tools, what you guys can how you can manage it. And then also something that we like to talk about too is marketing that loyalty program and things and ideas that you can do to do that. But also, like, why do we think our guest loyalty module is the better decision? I know there's a lot of third-party platforms out there that can do that. Why should you choose ICNDs? And a couple reasons. Number one, it integrates with most PMSs, so you're going to be able to pull in that reservation data. It's going to be, you're going to have that integration, and then we also provide easy ways to funnel guests back out to the website to find what they need from a property perspective. The biggest reason is that it's fully customizable. Yes, we do have sort of an out-of-the-box cookie cutter. These are what it comes with, etc. But you can really get creative, and you can really think about it from different perspectives. And if you ask the question, we can likely do it. We can customize the program and the features in the back end really to what your business needs are, and that's really what we excel at. So super excited to offer this, and I've implemented it with a couple of different clients, and it's everyone is different and everyone has different ideas, and it's really just been fascinating. So from the guest features side, sort of how it works, from a very fundamental level, the guest creates an account, they earn points, and then they can use those points towards different perks or rewards. So the guest signs up and creates an account with their email address, and any reservations that are booked with that email address, get tied together, and there you go. Obviously guests earn points on every stay, and then those points are tiered, and you can customize whatever tier level you'd like. And then there are, of course, additional ways to earn points. And here's really where you can get creative. You can essentially do whatever you want. The most common, ways to earn points are if a guest leaves a review, they can refer a friend, they can answer marketing questions, which I'll get to in a second. You can offer a birthday reward or an anniversary of when they signed up with the program award. So every year that they're in the program, they get specific, additional points. And also, you can reward and give points for engaging with your brand on social media. So those are some of the ways to earn points. Then a little bit more here on the guest side, from the dashboard. So when I log into my account, I am, shown a dashboard which has all of the features and things that you would expect in a dashboard. You can see what level you're at, the date that you enrolled. You can look at the benefits of the different tiers. You see there in the middle, there is a percentage little wheel that will tell you how many points you need to get to the next level. You can, of course, see your points balance. You can see additional ways to earn points. You can see your upcoming stays, and also any frequently asked questions or ways to redeem there. What you're seeing over on the left is this marketing questionnaire that I was talking about. You can customize that, create whatever questions you want, and then reward your guests for filling that out. And essentially, it's giving you data. It's which is great. So you can use that data to then market to your guests. So you can ask questions like, what time of year do you like to come? Do you typically travel with your family? You stay in a large house or a big house? What amenities are important to you? Do you travel with a pet? What do you like to do when you're here? All of those types of questions that you can then create marketing campaigns around that. Um, Diving in a little bit more to the guest dashboard and the details there, and this is kind of really what I was talking about before with the way that it integrates with not only your website but your PMS. So the guest can view properties. They can view their favorites, any saved searches that they have. So they may have saved 5 properties, and this year they're going to stay at this specific one, but they want to make sure that they remember those other ones for the next time that they come. They can view their upcoming and past bookings. Obviously, just mention their tier level, points balance. Right from the platform, they can ask you a question. It's just a simple little form, pops in there, like, hey, whatever they might have a question on. And then they can also view the FAQs. And they can also manage their profile, all of the different things in there. But they do that right in the platform. And like I said, it's pretty neat because it sort of seamlessly sends you out to the website and then back again. On the flip side of that, the administrator portal, what you as a client would see on your end, it's pretty simple when you log into your CMS. If you have the loyalty program with us, it'll just be an additional section on that left-hand side menu there. So from the manage loyalty section of the CMS, you can first and foremost manage the dashboard content, what I was just showing before. You can customize that. You can add a new message. You can add or delete or edit the ways people can earn perks. And you can really change that messaging any way that you like, either seasonally or whatever it might be. Of course, you can view all the program users. So you can see everybody that signed up, the last time they logged in, what their points balance is, what tier they're at, all the date that they signed up. Any of that information is going to all be in there. You can also see upcoming reservations, so you'll be able to see, everyone that's arriving soon, and if they're, loyalty member, and if they're at a certain tier, that gets them a free check-in basket or something that has to be delivered in unit. You can use that to kind of manage that and have your guest services team, handle it that way as well. You can see a perks report, which will give you all of the information on who's earned a perk, whether they've redeemed it, and you again manage it that way. So you can keep on top of what perks are out there and what you need to deliver. You can also manage and edit your FAQs. So you may have had a set of FAQs when you first launched the program, and then you realize, oh, everyone's asking about this, so we need to add that. You can obviously do that there. There's also a series of automated emails that the guest will get. They obviously get a welcome email. If they get a refer a friend email, there's also when they've reached the next tier level based on points, they'll get an email for that as well. And of course, in the admin portal, any additional customizations that you would have requested would certainly be available to you there. Now that's kind of the both sides of it, the guest side of it, the administrator side of it, and then you've built your program. It's like build it and they will come. It's like, well, not really. You have the loyalty program, but of course you want to market that and you want to use that to your advantage and create that experience as well. So ideas for doing that, obviously, if you have the loyalty program, having a page on your website dedicated to that completely is going to be extremely important in marketing that. Outlining the program and basic details, really talking about it. You can name the program anything you want. You don't have to call it guest loyalty program. You can come up with something super creative that's, branded to you, fill out, explain how it works. And then also a CTA either to log in or to create their account right there. So website marketing is going to be huge for that. And then I encourage, all of our clients to have the details or a little snippet for the program in all of your email marketing, not just the booking confirmation, although that's obviously a key place to have it, but in your regular year-round guest lifecycle email, have a little block at the end of those that talks about your rewards program to encourage people to sign up. So those are great ways to have that in there to encourage more users. And then, of course, depending on if your guests have to check in at your office, having some material there in the office, in the property, in their check-in materials, if it is a packet that they get once they arrive. All of that can, again, goes back to the consistency, and is it across all of your marketing channels, just to encourage users to sign up, engage, and reap the benefits of your loyalty program. So, any questions that have come in, Diamond, that you've want to toss over to me?
No questions have come in so far. So this is your opportunity again. If you have a question for Kara, about what she presented today, the new loyalty program, about ICND support, and this is the time to ask her those questions. Please type them into the Q&A and I can field them for you. Kara, I mean, wrote some notes down as well while you were speaking, so I learned a little bit as well while you were giving your presentation. So
Cool.
yeah, very cool. I don't see any questions coming in, so we'll just give it a few more seconds to see if someone's just feverishly typing a question for you. But if they, oh, let's see here. Here we do have a question. Do you have any integrations with any PMS systems to flag or add notes if a guest would tier status is arriving?
That would be, I don't know if it would flow back to the PMS, although we might be able to again come up with something, but that would be in that report where you would look at the, upcoming reservations, and it would say the tier of the guest that's a part of the loyalty program. But there may be a way to flag bookings, in some capacity. We'd certainly be able to look into that.
Okay, that report sounds like very helpful. So you can look at that on a daily basis and know who's arriving and what tier they're in.
Yeah.
Um,
Even if it's just to, like, maybe they haven't reached the next tier and they're not getting, like, free vacation or $1,000 million off, but it's like, oh, thank you for being a, loyalty member, and, blah, blah, blah. Just having that, if they check in at your office, just having that interaction with the guest, and, recognizing that we have all had that, when we check into, Marriott or Hyatt or whatever, whenever we're, traveling, it's thank you for being a rewards member. So it's just having that knowledge and equipping your agents with that information is going to be helpful as well.
so another question just came through is if somebody listening today or in the future is interested in this service, who do they contact? Do they contact you? Do they go to their ICND SEO representative? Who on the team is their contact to implement this?
If you have a favorite ICNDer that you want to reach out to, certainly do that, and they can, either we can all coordinate in the background, or if you want to send an email directly to me, that's great too. Would love to set up a more in-depth demo and maybe answer some questions that are customized to your business.
Okay, great.
So there's my info there.
Yeah, if you want to take a screenshot of Kara's information here or jot it down quickly. Again, this session was recorded, so we will be sending out the live link to watch the rerun in a few short days. It'll come to the email that you use to register for this event. I don't see any other questions coming through just quite yet. So now's a great time to sign people up for our part 3 of this Insider series. So coming up on March 26th at 11 a.m. Eastern, we have part 3 of the Insider series, Your Look Inside of ICND. It will be vacation rental marketing that clicks. It will be co-hosted by Paul Hanak and Jill McKee from our digital marketing department. So the next, here we go. This is how we sign up. So you can visit that link or just scan that QR code on your screen now to sign up for part 3 of the Insider webinar series. We'll also be sending this information out with a recap email with the link to the video. And then we will also be promoting this session on our social media. So shameless plug, if you don't follow the ICND socials, please make time today to go on over and follow us on all of the major social media platforms. I don't see any of the questions coming into the chat. Kara, so I think we are way on time. I think we've been thoughtful of people's times this morning, lots of information, a little snippet. So if there's no other questions coming in or comments or concerns, Kara, thank you so much for joining me this morning, sharing this valuable information. And we look forward to seeing everybody else on March 26th for the next part of this Insider webinar series. Oh, hold on. We have one last question coming. I
Sure.
love it. I love the last minute questions. Person was asking, typically, how long is the onboarding process to get this module up and running in the back end?
I mean, it depends. Everything obviously things ebb and flow with our queue. But I would say a couple weeks, and then it depends on how much back and forth there is on customizations and things that you'd like to do. And then, of course, on your end with like building the page for your site and getting your marketing materials in order for when you want to like kind of officially launch it. So yeah, it's not extremely lengthy, but it's definitely not a checkbox.
Okay. We have just a few other um, specific questions coming in that I'm answering in the chat.
Okay.
But if you have a last minute question before we sign off, please type it in or let us know, or you can contact Kara directly, or you could always send a question into support, right, Kara? What you want to share the support information one last time as well?
Yeah, it's just the regular button on our website that says contact support that gets you right to the form.
Okay, and that's in the upper right-hand corner,
Yeah.
the ICNG website. All right. Well, Kara, thanks again. Thanks for everyone who attended. We'll be getting this recording out soon. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Enjoy the sunny weather if it's sunny in your area. If not, be safe out there. And we'll talk to y'all soon. Have a great day,
Thanks, guys.
everyone.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.